leave the diner for the last time, there's a sort of a moment with the just kind of a technical and sort of dramatic moment with the music where the music on the radio is playing, and there's going to be a little bit of a cut, and then you go to this cutscene music, which takes it's supposed to be sort of a seamless break from the game music to the cutscene music, and then the music kind of comes out of the radio, and doesn't sound like it's on a radio anymore. It's the music of people's, dreams and wishes.
So Tim created a character, which I very much appreciate. I love her. Her name is Lupe, and she happens to be a little bit based on me and my idiosyncrasies. And so I remember one time we were hanging out, and he told me, he's like, see, how can you tell me that I don't understand our relationship? Like, I can write about it. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he said, see, she's super organized. Nobody listens to her, but she has a lot of really important things to say. And see, we need her, and that's what you realize.
That's awesome.
So I was like, oh, I love you. And she does karate kicks. That was the best, because I like to punch people. And so if you notice, sometimes, I don't know if they have it in here, but she punches in the air. She does air punches.
That's awesome. She was really easy to cast because I had such a great frame of reference for her.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
I wish you would slide down the banister, because we put a lot of effort into sliding down that banister. Come on, slide down the banister. I recommend any player who's in this room slide down the banister. It's much faster than walking.
Especially if you're 6 and you don't have terrible consequences when you hit the bottom.
You should not try that at home. Actually, kids, you should. You should go slide down the banister of your house right now.
Everybody's got to do it once.
I remember animating Manny sliding down the banister, and I remember Tim kept calling for something. He's got to look cool, and so I did that, and I don't think he was ever really happy with it. So I don't know. Apparently don't know what cool means.
You got to put some Ray-Bans on him.
Yeah, I mean Manny's a suave guy, but I don't know if suave guys slide down banisters. Maybe I should have done it slower.
Manny's music, the Casino Calavera music, that was a big moment for me doing the score, because it was done fairly early on, and it kind of it determined a lot of other stuff, just sort of stylistically. Get that sort of Gene Krupa thing going on in the beginning. And
Gene Krupa.
Yeah, one of the great drummers of all time.
Oh wow, I forgot about that mural. That was supposed to be sort of
really good.
Oh, well, thank you. I did that.
Did you?
No, I did, but it was based on, like a Gustav Klimt.
Gustav Klimt, yeah.
But then I also did those really bad textures on the roulette wheels. And,
Oh, they're fine.
oh, no, but I remember Adam Schnitzer actually getting angry at me. He was like, don't paint light in the paintings.
Who got angry with you?
Oh, not really angry. I mean, he only hit
He probably
me.
felt the same way as when Tim said, Manny's not cool enough, so I guess. Just make it cool. Canadian animator.
What's that about?
That's now so not cool.
I just want to have a really international flair. I guess because Casablanca was very international. But also I love the game Last Express, the Jordan Mechner game. Last Express, you're on a train. And there's a lot of listening to conversations that are not presented at full volume because you're eavesdropping. You're walking down the hallway and you hear someone talking in a room. But they'll often be very quiet, but often sometimes in another language, like French or German or something. And just the idea of like overhearing a quietly spoken French conversation was so neat in that game that we tried to have people talking in other languages in here, like that the croupier in the gambling room speaking French, I believe. But these is like scenes are from the production of the game in a way where Leslie would come to me like, look what I made. I made a chart of every single scene in the game, plus every single actor, and I coded it. Yellow means Manny's in it, and blue means this prop is in it. And she's so excited about these things that she did, and this character is doing the exact thing.
Yep.
You have to take things from your life and put them in your work, even though they don't read anything to anybody else.
Well, that just means work will be about life rather than life being about work, right?
Exactly.
That's Kay Cuter, and Kay was, I don't know, late 70s, early 80s, and he had a big, long, gray beard.
Yeah.
And he was a raging smoker.
Oh,
and so
yeah.
You'd have to break him every 45 minutes,
Oh, yeah.
otherwise he'd start getting into a really bad mood. And on one of those sessions, he plays the croupier later on, where he speaks French and English, and it's just he delivers the numbers. We were behind on time, and so I sort of pushed him to an hour, and all of a sudden, I found myself in an argument with Kay over how to pronounce 20 in French. And so I was like, it's definitely time for a smoke break on you. Get out of here.
To some extent, Grim Fandango is a bit of a mutt. It's got pieces of Jedi Knight, it's got pieces of Scum, it's got pieces of Outlaws, it's got pieces of, it's got IMUS coming in, and it's got the Lua language. So it was a game kind of made on a shoot, for all the technical challenges in it. A lot of pieces were sort of pre-existing, and kind of it was a matter of maybe a new era of game development where you don't write everything from scratch, but you kind of put it together in the best possible way.
Well, and one of the kind of the side effects of that was, since we had pretty robust solutions to video playback and rendering and art pipes in front of us, it really, a lot of the effort, aside from just making everything, all the blocking and tackling working, was spent on how to making games like this convenient and producible and artist friendly. And you had built some tools that were really unlike the things that appeared in RenderDroid or Smush or some of the technologies it was built on. So it's a bit of a mutt in that we borrowed a bunch of really great technology, but there's also a lot of really innovative stuff.
And so that guy, Toto Santos, which is the name of the All Souls Day, that was one important casting thing that meant so much at the time. And I love The Usual Suspects.
Yes.
And there's a burn victim in the very beginning of the game, a guy who was burned on the ship.
Right.
And he's in the bed, and he's the first guy who says, "Guys are so safe."
Right.
He's this Hungarian or Polish.
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
And we got that actor to do Toto Santos' voice, because I was like, I want him to sound like that guy from Usual Suspects. And so if you listen to him, he's
That's
just
awesome.
like, I wanted to have him say, "Guys are so safe."
The one thing for a sound designer or for a composer, when the story is great and the writing is great and the pacing is great, whether it's a film or a game, you can't help but weigh in a successful way yourself, because there's this flow already and you're just participating with it and enhancing it. One of the jobs of a composer, especially in a game like this, a lot of time passes and you need to both entertain the listener and provide musical interest, but it has to also last for a very long time without being tiresome. And I think Pete did a great job at striking a balance between a great deal of musical interest, but also kind of hanging back and taking its time and letting the story unfold, letting the player concentrate on the game.
I love how all the characters have very distinct voices that match their personality and their look. Like, how much would Tim give you direction, and how much was your direction influencing?
Well, like, ideally, when you go through the process, you have character pictures along with the audition copy, and we would send that out to the various agencies, and the auditions would come back, and the process kind of does that for you, because you're listening to the auditions and you're looking at the picture, and you narrow it down to a handful of candidates, and then sort of we'd sit down with Tim and just go through them, and that's sometimes there's only one choice, and you just know it.
Right. It's just so great.
Yeah.
All of them.
What you do is you cast for the major characters, and then you use that same talent pool with a lot of the smaller characters. Right. And so that's why Kay is, he was cast for Velasco, but then the croupier just was one of those that's like, okay, well, that fits, he works.
So you let the actors pretty much kind of come up with their character as well when they look at the picture?
Yeah. Well, definitely, for those secondary characters, they're totally undefined when you're in the studio, and so you just kind of sit there, look at the picture, look at the lines, talk about it, just set a dialogue voice in, and then go.
I just create. I love it. It's just creative everywhere, through the whole thing. like not just with us, but even with the actors and
Right.
stuff like that. And you really are like watching a movie.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
And you really want that relationship between sort of the voiceover director and the actor to be collaborative and allow them the freedom to bring stuff to the table and try things, and it just adds a lot.
We definitely should give a huge shout out to Peter Chan, and yeah, I'm still jealous of that guy.
Chan the man.
I know. Just when those packages would come, it would just be like Christmas, and you'd open, you'd see those, and you just think, oh man, and he's a nice guy too.
The weird
happy
thing about
family.
that was I never experienced like the delivery of the package
Oh.
firsthand, but I still got excited about it.
No, they're beautiful, and he's such a sweetheart. And I'm sorry, Garv. This is the set that you had to build
This is
twice.
Garov's, right?
Yeah, this is the one.
This was the gift that kept
And it's
on
actually
giving.
very beautiful, I might add.
Yes. Well, a second time is
The second time I
But I'm sorry. You were saying that was a real building.
Yeah.
Where was that in Spain?
I think it's in Paris, I think.
Oh.
And I remember seeing a photo of it and being like,
Oh.
wait, Peter.
Good artist borrow, great artist steal.
And then for some reason, I was always really interested in beatniks and Reds. I think because it was so foreign to me, like the Red Scare was not part of my actual life, but it always seemed like this thing it's funny. It was always funny to me to imagine how passionate people were about that, how big of a deal it was for them. And it was always so, but if from a safe distance, it was just kind of entertaining. Like, oh wow, people are we're really concerned about communists everywhere and unions and.
No, I remember when I was a little kid, there were people would still talk about communist plots in all seriousness. Yeah.
There's that spotlight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this was another, we lifted up took the technology from RenderDroid, which was in Jedi Knight, but it didn't have spotlights at the time. It just had directional lights and point lights. So that was actually one of the very first things when
It's the first thing you did.
Yeah, when I got hired onto the team, which I was brand new to LucasArts, and Tim and Brett brought me in, and my first thing I was like, I'm gonna put in spotlights because I know how to do that, and it's gonna matter, and that'll be my stake in the ground. And this was one of the first scenes I worked on that had spotlights. So when Manny walks off stage and you see the light, when he walks out of the light, it was a pretty important moment. Everybody thought that was pretty cool. I was like, all right, I did something. I'm in this amazing project with this amazing team, and I did something.
In the final version of the game, are the backgrounds actually just pre-rendered flats?
Yes, they are.
See, that's amazing to me because, we live in the world of 3D now. We're used to floating the camera around inside of these things. But, once you chose your camera angle to pre-render something, that was it. There you go.
No, it's Manny walking around in a blank 3D room with Z-depth data to clip him in front of the stuff that he needs to clip in front of.